I'm in Poole for Motorboat and Yachting today, looking at this Princess 43. Now this is a boat that was launched at the end of 2013, and it's one that ran until the late 2018. And I think it's a particularly interesting boat because the layout of this boat dates right back to the 1980s. It's been refined and refined since then, but actually the basic layout you found on the Princess 38, that then became a 385, a 388, a 398, a 410, a 430, then the Princess 42, which was massively popular for Princess. In fact, they're all pretty popular boats. And then finally this 43. And this really is the end of the line for this layout, because although Princess are still doing this size of boat, the new F45 is an IPS-driven boat. And they've used the position of the IPS engines to give a completely different internal layout. But this is a layout, I think, that works particularly well. So we're going to start right out here in the cockpit. A couple of things to point out while we're here. First is, as we stepped on the platform, there is an option in this boat, has it, to have a high-load platform, so you can put up to 300 kilograms of tender on there. And there's two side access doors around this dinette area. And then you step straight in from here to the saloon. On the latest boats, the Galley, after it's getting very popular, on this boat the Galley is further down. As I say, it is a more traditional layout, but I think it works well because it links these areas extremely well. Anyway, let's go on through and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. So this one has the walnut interior. This was an upgrade. Standard was oak, and you could have oak in high gloss or satin, and this again high gloss or satin. This is the satin finish. The high gloss is a very polished, varnished finish. There's a lot of detailing gone into this boat, so things like the bar area tucked in behind here and complemented by this area for bottles or more glasses. You could have a fridge here. This particular owner has opted for a wine cooler down here. And this one also has the upgraded Harman Kardon Hi-Fi and a pop-up TV, which is another option. Another thing you could have for this boat is they did do it with a sideboard down this side, so that gives you more storage, but you lost this very social area with the seating that faces each other. And this, on this boat, will convert to a double bed as well. Let's head on forward. Now the helm is up these couple of steps. Again, a very traditional helm for Princess, very nicely laid out. It's got adjustable helm seat. The chart plotter is directly in front of the navigator and easily reached by the helmsman, and all the electronics are here as well. Now, in terms of engines, when this boat came out, Princess fitted the Volvo D6 435 shaft drive engine, pair of engines of course, and that was giving the boat about 27-28 knots flat out, cruising in the low to mid 20s. But a couple of years later they brought out an option. You could have a pair of Cummins QSB 6.7 550 horsepower engines. So the engines fitted this particular boat, and they upped top speed to close to 30 knots. I think it was about 30 knots on a good day, but inevitably with gear and weed it would bring that back just a little bit. A couple of other options worth looking out for. This one has got the twin thrusters. So bow thruster is standard. This one has a stern thruster as well, and these have a hold function on them, so you can push it to the side and they'll keep running while you step away and hold the boat pinned against the pontoon. There's also an option of a joystick which linked the throttles and the bow thruster, and that meant you could just literally move the joystick to the side or forward or this way, and it would control the boat and send it the way you wanted it to go. Anyway, let's head on down a bit further. So as I say, this has got the Galley down layout. The latest boats, including the new Princess 45, had the Galley at the back. I actually think this works quite well because it gives you a very big area here, and when you're down here it's just 2 steps down, so you're still nicely linked with this area, but you've got a great sized Galley to work at. Another good option, this has got the ceramic hob, gas was standard, and the electric cooking to go with it. And another nice thing this one's got is dishwasher, just down here. And then there's a fridge on this side, and this is all storage in underneath here, and also behind here. And another option to look out for is there's a big lift up storage area under here. This was just about big enough that you could fit a washing machine in here, so that was a factory option. You don't see it too often on these. It does make a very good storage area without it, but as I say, 1 or 2 of these went out with a washing machine in there. So we'll head on forward. There's another step down, and then this takes us into the guest cabin over on the starboard side. Very well proportioned cabin. What's interesting about this, you'll notice it's got a double bed, but in actual fact you can just see there's a line down the centre, and that's because this one, it's an option again, but this has a double berth conversion where you can push a button, this will slide across and make that into 2 singles, or slide it the other way as it is here, and you've got a double. There's a wardrobe in here as well. There's also access to the heads from here. So if we come back out, this is the day heads. Really nice size, but at night you can close this door off, use this door, and that'll take you straight through into that cabin. So it's great because it means at night both cabins have got their own private ensuite and a nice big separate shower stall in here as well. Let's head on forward again, and this then is the master cabin, and it's a really good size. Again, beautifully finished with this walnut wood, and there's lots of little storage areas in here. So up in behind here is storage, and even things like this. If you open this little mirror, there's storage in there. There's a little pop-out drawer, and then there are big drawers underneath the bed. Another option worth looking out for, they fitted 22-inch TVs into here as an extra. So if you wanted TVs in the cabins, you could have them, one in here, and there was an option for it in the guest cabin as well, although I don't think this boat has it. I tell a lie, there it is. This is a nicely spec boat actually. Okay, actually the one thing we missed while we were in here was this cabin's ensuite. Very similar to the other one, really great size, separate shower stall. Very good. Okay, let's head on back. I think it's worth mentioning that although this is the smallest Flybridge boat in the range when it was out, the quality of this boat is really, really good. It feels just like the very big multi-million-pound Princesses. So you look at things like the way they've stitched in behind here, the woodwork as I mentioned earlier, the lighting, everything about it, very, very high quality. And another thing they did with this boat is put these really big, deep windows in, so you get loads of light into here and a great view out, even when you're sat down. Now back underneath the cockpit floor you have got a storage area, so lazarette. So again, loads of space, and then your engines are ahead of that. They are down in there. Excellent. So the only thing we haven't seen is the Flybridge. Let's go and have a look up there. Now up here, this boat's layout varies quite a bit from the Princess 42 that came before. That boat had twin helms and then a small dinette area next to the helm, and then sunbeds at the back. What they've done with this one is put a large dinette at the back, and then this area here is seating next to the helm, but this will convert to a sun pad so you can pull a section out from here, move that across, and then you've got twin helm seats just here. A couple of options worth looking out for, which this boat has, is full teak up here. So standard was just white GRP, but you could have teak as an extra, and also separate to that you could have teak on the side decks and the foredeck, which you can see if we look over here down the sides and round to the front. It's very nice. And then one other thing worth mentioning is the bar. So this was an option, and it gave you a griddle up here, and then also a bit of storage underneath and a bin. Excellent. Let's head on down, finish off. So that's it, the Princess 43. It's the end of an evolution that stretches back several decades. I think they've really refined this one to something very special, and I think it's a great boat.